1. Ilef Surya is the first person to hold the title of Guild Master, and the founder of Magia Dragon. As a human, Ilef Surya appears as an old man with a wrinkled face, long white grayish hair, and a drab of an old-style magician with a wizard's hat. As a dragon, Ilef Surya appears as a large, bearded dragon with horns, uniquely shaped arms and claws, as well deer-like antlers. In the year X633, Ilef Surya bore witness to countless mages who were killed by those who believed magic to be an evil power. He tearfully declared that mages would need to be protected and united, thus forming Magia Dragon, the first guild in the history of Earthland. At some point in his life, Ilef Surya taught himself Dragon Slayer magic in order to combat the 5 dragon gods. As a consequence of overusing his power, however, he ultimately transformed into a dragon. Since then, Ilef Surya posted a job request for other guilds that would go unfulfilled for over a century due to its immense difficulty, with only Guildarts Clive returning home alive, gaining the designation of a 100-year quest. In X793, Ilef Surya appears before Team Natsu at the ruins of Magia Dragon in the form of a dragon, welcoming them as the 99th group of adventurers who have accepted the 100-year quest since its original posting. As the mages question what business a dragon has at such an old guild, Natsu Dragneel and Wendy Marvel sense that he is actually a human. Impressed by their perception, Ilef Surya assumes his human form and reintroduces himself as Magia Dragon's first master, explaining his identity as a self-taught dragon slayer who turned into a dragon. He proceeds to fawn over the stunning female mages, complaining over the middle-aged men who have only ever accepted the job, before noting that not a single one of them have ever returned from the quest alive, save a terribly maimed Guildarts Clive, sternly questioning the group if they're prepared to undertake such a dangerous quest. After having the team sign written oaths that they are never to speak of the quest's details to anyone, and that the Magic Council will not be held accountable for their potential deaths, Ilef Surya reveals that they are to seal the 5 dragon gods, describing each of them as being as powerful as Aknalaja. To his surprise, Urza Scarlet reveals that Natsu has already defeated Aknalaja, to which Ilef Surya proclaims that they will be his last hope of anyone being able to complete the quest. He provides them with a lead on the whereabouts of the first dragon, Merkphobia, in the port city of Ermina. As a final statement before the team disembarks, he tells them that their reward for success will be any one thing in the world that they desire. Magic and abilities. Law Dragon Slayer magic. Ilef Surya taught himself Dragon Slayer magic, but like most Dragon Slayers, the extensive overuse of this lost magic transformed him into a dragon. Teleportation magic. Ilef Surya is able to teleport around areas instantaneously. Shape-shifting. Similar to Aknalaja and Irene Belzarian, Ilef Surya is capable of shifting between his human and dragon forms at will, although Dragon Slayers are capable of identifying his human identity by his scent. He is capable of changing his size to smaller proportions. 2. Ignia, also known as the Fire Dragon God, is one of the 5 dragon gods that inhabit the continent of Giltana. He is the biological son of the Fire Dragon King Igneal. Ignia heavily resembles his father, having inherited Igneal's dark red scales, beige underside, and horn-tipped nose. Being a dragon, he is large in size with bat-like wings, and sports canine teeth and sharp claws. Ignia bears several caudal spines around his face, with a large crystal-like horn protruding from the top of his head. 2 fire-like tattoos can be seen on his chest, and flames radiate off various parts of his body. In human form, Ignia takes on the appearance of a toned, muscular man. His dark orange hair is styled upwards, with the tips somewhat tinged and 2 strands framing the sides of his head. He has several red tattoos on his upper body, including flame-like ones on his face, a red sun that covers much of his left pectoral, and a tribal design that runs down his left arm. For attire, Ignia dons loose pants with a fur lining in the middle. The top is dark-colored while the bottom is light. He wears a wrap around his waist, with an apron-like cloth over his pants, bearing diamond shapes and an X design. Bandages cover his right forearm, and his accessories include 3 triangular dangling earrings on each ear, and a large gold chain with a cross-shaped pendant around his neck. Ignea existed as far back as the Dragon King festival. He was born to the Fire Dragon King, Igneal, and an unknown female dragon during the breeding cycle of dragons. 400 years ago, Ignea escaped to Giltana in order to evade Acnologia, being one of the 5 dragons who survived and later earned the moniker of the 5 Dragon Gods, eventually surpassing the reputed Black Dragon's power. Magic and abilities. Fire Dragon Slayer Magic. Ignea can utilize Fire Dragon Slayer magic similar to his father, but to an even higher degree, such as creating multiple pillars of fire that falls from the sky. Transformation Magic. Ignea, like all the other 5 dragon gods, is able to change appearances into that of a full-fledged human, though all dragons possess the ability to transform to a certain extent. Flight. As a dragon, Ignea possesses the ability to fly through the air using his wings. Immense strength. Ignea possesses tremendous physical strength, as shown when he easily blocks and holds back a punch from Natsu with a single hand. Immense magic power. As one of the 5 dragon gods, Ignea possesses an immense amount of magic power which is said to rival the might of Acnologia. Ignea himself has stated that he and the other 5 dragon gods possess power that surpass Acnologia. When he released his power, it turned Ermina Town into a sea of flames. 3. Selene, also known as the Moon Dragon God, is one of the 5 dragon gods that inhabit the continent of Giltana. In human form, Selene takes on the appearance of a buxom and a curvaceous woman with her long white hair extending to her hips. For attire, Selene dons a loose kimono with fur lining on the top while also having flower designs all over it as well as zigzag lines on its edges. The back of her kimono has another layer of cloth with no intricate designs. Her head is covered by a hood adorned with an upward crescent moon with a gem on top as well as a pair of wings on each side. She also has a pair of socks while wearing wooden sandals. Selene existed as far back as the Dragon King festival and, like the other 5 dragon gods, fled to Giltana in fear of Acnologia. Magic and abilities. Moon Dragon Slayer Magic. Selene can utilize Elemental Dragon Slayer magic like all the other 5 dragon gods. The element in case is the stars. Transformation Magic. Selene, like all the other 5 dragon gods, is able to change appearances into that of a full-fledged human, though all dragons possess the ability to transform to a certain extent. Immense magic power. As one of the 5 dragon gods, Selene possesses an immense amount of magic power which is said to be equal to that of Acnologia. 4. George Ryzen is a 5th generation Dragon Slayer and the Guild Master of Diabolos. Dragon Slayer Magic. Being a 5th generation Dragon Slayer, George has the ability to utilize this magic. Dragon Force. Like all 5th generation Dragon Slayers, George has the ability to use Dragon Force. However, the use of it is forbidden as it differs from the previous generations. 5. Kyria is a 5th generation Dragon Slayer and member of Diabolos, a guild of dragon eaters. Kyria is a young woman with slightly wavy blonde hair that is styled to cover the left side of her face while the rest falls down her back. She has a white cloth tied around her hips with a majority of it hanging on her left side and behind her. She wears armor on her forearms and has dark sleeves with wave-like patterns on the edges that reach below her shoulders. There is a white cloth tied at the ends of the armor, connecting them. At some point in time, Kyria devoured a blade dragon or a dragon slayer with the properties of a blade dragon, which enabled her to take on their power. She then joined Diabolos, a guild exclusively comprised of dragon eaters, 5th generation dragon slayers. Kyria is discovered by Natsu, Lucy, and Happy, chained to the bars of a cell and set to serve as a sacrifice to Mercphobia. Taking notice of the trio, in fish form, she identifies them as humans and cautions them to stay back. Moments later, the water dragon descends into the ocean, prompting Kyria call his attention. Grinning psychotically, she expresses excitement at the dragon's arrival before breaking her bonds and slicing the cell bars. As she dodges the Mercphobia's magic, Kyria taunts the dragon and prepares to launch her counterattack. She successfully finishes off Water God with Blade Dragon's sword dance, slicing his body to pieces. As she approaches a piece of his flesh, Kiria proceeds to consume the dragon. However, she realizes that her opponent had been a replica of the real water dragon, admitting that attempting to eat him made her feel queasy. Disappointed, she lashes out at Natsu, Lucy, and Happy, requesting that the trio entertain her. As a now humanized Natsu intercepts her attack, Kiria recognizes his smell as that of a dragon slayer's, revealing herself to be that of the 5th generation. Kiria introduces herself as the Blade Dragon and a member of Diabolos, a guild of dragon eaters, 5th generation dragon slayers who devour dragons to take their power. Magic and abilities. Blade Dragon Slayer Magic. Kiria is able to use this magic that allows her to conjure and manipulate blades. Blade Dragon's Tearing Roar. Kiria's exclusive Dragon's Roar, where she quickly gathers and releases a roar that pushes back and slashes everything in its path. Blade Hypnosis. Kiria uses this to cut away her target's mental strength, resulting in them changing their personality into something that she can easily dominate. Blade Dragon's Sword Dance. Kiria creates 2 blades that extend from her hands and swiftly cuts her target into multiple pieces. Dragon Force. Like all 5th generation dragon slayers, Kiria has the ability to use Dragon Force. However, the use of it is forbidden as it differs from the previous generations. 6. Scullion Raider is a 5th generation dragon slayer and member of Diabolos, a guild of dragon eaters. Scullion is a tall, broad man whose facial features are mostly hidden by a skull-like helmet with 2 horns protruding from the sides. His attire resembles that of a skeleton's, with other bone designs to complement his appearance. He dons 2 overly sized skull accessories on his shoulders with a dark-colored cloak, along with gloves and leg armor from the knee down. At some point in time, Scullion devoured a corpse dragon or a dragon slayer with the properties of a corpse dragon, which enabled him to take on their power. He then joined Diabolos, a guild exclusively comprised of dragon eaters, 5th generation dragon slayers. Magic and abilities. Corpse Dragon Slayer Magic. Scullion is able to use this magic that allows him to gain the abilities and characteristics of a corpse dragon. He uses this magic to teleport people. When used on someone, it dissolves their body into ashes only to have them reappear where the original caster resides. Scullion can also use this magic to bind their targets and turn water and fire into ashes. He also gains the ability to turn his body into ash to avoid receiving any damage. He can also use this magic to create objects out of ash. Corpse Dragon's Utter Ash. Scullion creates a vortex of ash surrounding him while turning everything around him into ashes. Black Ash. Scullion places his hands in front of him while having his palms face each other. He then pulls the ashes onto himself and then releasing it on his target, which causes them to instantly turn into ashes and teleporting them away. Dragon Force. Like all 5th generation dragon slayers, Scullion has the ability to use Dragon Force. However, the use of it is forbidden as it differs from the previous generations. Telepathy. Scullion is able to use magic to telepathically communicate with others. 7. Mad Mole is a 5th generation dragon slayer and a member of Diabolos, a guild of dragon eaters. Mad Mole is a tall man with a usually serious expression. He has unique eyebrows, long earlobes, and cornrows-styled hair that is tied back into a ponytail by a clasp. He dons armor for his attire. At some point in time, Mad Mole devoured an armor dragon or a dragon slayer with the properties of an armor dragon, which enabled him to take on their power. He then joined Diabolos, a guild exclusively comprised of dragon eaters, 5th generation dragon slayers. Mad Mole comes to Kiria's rescue, blocking Urza's sword attack with his head. He expresses his worries to Kiria when he finds out that she did not return. Mad Mole also informs her that Scullion wants her to return at once, but Kiria states that Mercphobia may appear at any moment. Shortly after their conversation, Mercphobia splits the ocean waters and descends upon them along with Team Natsu. Magic and abilities. Armor Dragon Slayer Magic. Mad Mole is able to use this magic that allows him to gain the abilities and characteristics of an armor dragon. With this magic, Mad Mole becomes durable enough to be able to receive any attacks targeted at him while also not feeling any pain. as well as able to materialize armor-like substance such as passageways on water to cross on. Armor Dragon's Steel Fist Strike. Mad Mole hardens his fists with the same properties of an armor dragon and punches the target, causing sheer blunt damage. Dragon Force. Like all 5th generation Dragon Slayers, Mad Mole has the ability to use Dragon Force. However, the use of it is forbidden as it differs from the previous generations. Enhanced Strength. Mad Mole possesses a high degree of physical strength, as he is able to throw Natsu onto a ship and damaging it in the process. Immense Durability. Mad Mole possesses great durability, as he is able to take a direct hit to the head from Urza's sword and showed no signs of injury, as well as survive multiple direct hits from Natsu's Fire Dragon King's spells. 8. Suzaku is a 5th generation Dragon Slayer and among the members of Diablo's elite Black Dragon Slayer Knights team. Suzaku is a young man with long hair that he has tied into the back using a white hair tie, in addition to having bangs in front of his forehead, the sides of his head, and that stands up, long eyelashes. He is dressed in a black kimono with what appears like bird wings designed on the sleeves and tail feathers on the bottom. Suzaku also wears feather earrings. Magic and Abilities. Red Dragon Slayer Magic. Being a 5th generation Dragon Slayer, Suzaku has the ability to utilize this magic which revolves around the color red. Dragon Force. Like all 5th generation Dragon Slayers, Suzaku has the ability to use Dragon Force. However, the use of it is forbidden as it differs from the previous generations. 9. Tuka is a member of the Fairy Tail Guild. Tuka is small exceed with white fur and light blue stripes, with pink ears and blue eyes. She also has 2 whiskers on each side of her face. Her outfit is a smaller and simplified version of what she wears as a human, where the ribbons are tied at the sides of her gold headdress. While possessed by the White Wizard and with the use of transformation magic, Tuka gains access to the latter's human form, which is a slim, young-looking woman of average height with green eyes and prominent dark eyebrows. Additionally, while in her human form, Tuka retains her striped tail, which she hides under her dress. After the Fairy Tail Guild was disbanded in X791, Tuka was caught by bandits and trapped inside a barrel along with other stolen luggage. She was rescued by Natsu, Dragneel and Happy, who were on a job to retrieve the luggage, unaware of her presence. Due to a string of misunderstandings, Tuka believed Happy came to her rescue riding on the back of a dragon rather than carrying Natsu into battle in reality, and confused Natsu's name as his. Since then, Tuka fell in love with Natsu and resolved to join Fairy Tail to be with him. Tuka, alongside 2 other mages, is introduced by Max as a new member of Fairy Tail after having previously passed a combat proficiency exam against Jet and Droy. Although her companions are frightened away by Laxus, Tuka remains, desiring to be in Natsu's guild. When questioned about her relationship with the Dragon Slayer, Tuka expresses obsessive romantic feelings towards him, revealing that Natsu had rescued her from thieves during the guild's 1-year disbandment. Inquiring in regards to his whereabouts, Tuka is informed by Makarov that Natsu had embarked on a 100-year quest, much to her surprise. Later, Tuka watches in annoyance as Juvia complains over Gray's departure, suggesting that her guildmate have more faith in her beloved as she does in Natsu. This subsequently sparks a rivalry between the two. In the ensuing argument, Tuka mentions the cultist, Briar, in an attempt to irritate Juvia, knowing that the Avatar mage had formerly been attracted to Gray. Tuka is later seen talking with Myra Jane and Lysina as the former questions her abilities. Tuka responds that she wields water-based magic, expressing disappointment at that fact that she and Juvia utilize similar powers. In the midst of conversation, Tuka suddenly exposes a striped tail from underneath her dress, which is observed and pointed out by a shocked Gajeel and Juvia. Tuka's tail seemingly disappears soon afterwards, and she casually brushes off the duo's comments. Outside the guild, Tuka roams Magnolia, stopping by Natsu and Happy's house and revealing that she has moved next door to Lucy. She later walks the streets through a downpour, during which she is approached by Jalal, who addresses her as the White Wizard. Tuka fails to convince Jalal of her innocence, despite denying his accusations of her connection to Rebellious, as well as involvement in the theft of several wizards' magic. She is later defended by Laxus, and watches him confront the crime sorcier. Following the encounter with Jalal, Tuka expresses gratitude towards Laxus, but is warned strictly by the latter that he won't protect her if she withholds potentially dangerous information from the guild. Tuka emerges from her body to stop the White Wizard from stealing Jalal's magic and begs him to flee. Gajeel then appears behind Tuka and knocks her unconscious, binding her with iron cuffs. Tuka later awakens in the guild hall, where she is further questioned by Jalal and the fairy tale mages. She admits to having joined the guild with the purpose of having their enchantress separate the White Wizard from her body. Magic and abilities. Era, as an Exceed, Tuka is able to use this magic which allows her to sprout feathery wings and the ability to fly. Water magic, Tuka herself is able to use a water-based magic. 10. The White Wizard is a dangerous wizard whose threat to humanity is said to rival that of Zeref. Formerly residing in the body of Tuka, she is known to be the founder of Rebellious, possessing the ability to restrict the magic power of others in an effort to enslave them. The White Wizard is a slim, young-looking woman of average height with green eyes and prominent dark eyebrows. The ends of her hair are sausage curled, bundled into 4 thick strands in the back and 2 thick strands in the front. She dons a corset over a layered dress, as well as dark-colored stockings. She wears many dark green ribbons, including 2 in her hair and 1 around the frilled neckline of her dress containing a stone in the middle. She also wears a gold headdress with a decorative rose design and a small blue jewel. While residing inside of Tuka, the White Wizard uses transformation magic to be in her human appearance. The White Wizard has lived for 100 years, their magical prowess said to be equivalent to that of Zeref's. At some point in time, she founded Rebellious, a similar faith organization to Avatar, creating the philosophy of turning the world to a white nothingness. In the year X793, the White Wizard was responsible for the depletion of several mages' magic, resulting in some deaths due to magic deficiency disease. One of their most notable victims was Merkphobia, a member of the 5 dragon gods. Upset by the events of Jalal approaching Tuka and addressing her as the White Wizard and her connection to Rebellious, the White Wizard visits Jalal's hotel room, where the White Wizard verifies his knowledge of her identity, deeming him a hindrance to her plans. The White Wizard reveals their intentions to eliminate the fairy tale mages before attempting to steal away Jalal's magic. However, the White Wizard is halted by Tuka's emergence, who begs Jalal to flee. Gajeel then appears behind Tuka and knocks her unconscious, binding her with iron cuffs. Tuka later awakens in the guild hall, where she is further questioned by Jalal and the fairy tale mages. The White Wizard retakes control, breaking their cuffs before releasing their restriction on the water dragon's power. The White Wizard defeats Jalal and the fairy tale mages single-handedly, declaring that she had successfully dyed the entire guild white. The White Wizard later sets out in search for Team Natsu to conduct their mission to dye them white as well. Magic and abilities. White arts. The White Wizard, being the founder of Rebellious, uses this style of magic as their primary source of power, assuming various effects and maladies along with it. Whiteout, a white art that allows the White Wizard to have the ability to restrict the magic of those of which she absorbs. This allows the White Wizard to erase their target's magic to a state of 0 usage or vice versa, making it uncontrollable at their own discretion. The latter is showcased with the water dragon god Merkphobia, seeing as the White Wizard robbed him of control of his powers, causing it to go astray. Furthermore, the White Wizard is given awareness of the whereabouts of the magics which she restrict, as well as the ability to manipulate the target who falls under their control, in turn making them the user's slave to a degree. Transformation magic. While in control of Tuka's body, the White Wizard uses this magic to appear in human form. Immense magic power. The White Wizard has been shown to possess an immense amount of magic power, which she gained from stealing the magic power of multiple people as well as a dragon. Such feats were made more notable by the fact that she is able to control powerful beings such as the water dragon god who is in a different continent, as well as controlling Jalal and the majority of the fairy tale members at the same time.